Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Wednesday, the 4th of September. Reading through Ezekiel with McShane, we read the 7th chapter, part of God's word of judgment to the people of Israel. Reading from verse 19, he says, "They will throw their silver into the streets, and their gold will be treated as a thing unclean. Their silver and gold will not be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. It will not satisfy their hunger or fill their stomachs, for it has caused them to stumble into sin. They took pride in their beautiful jewelry and used it to make their detestable idols. They made it into the vile images. Therefore, I will make it a thing unclean for them." Another read that I thought, here were people that had accumulated what was valuable, silver and gold. They were wealthy, they were well off. They probably patted themselves on the back and looked around and said, we're better off than those people are. But when the Babylonians came, suddenly silver and gold was of no value. They could throw it out on the streets, it was so valueless. And no matter how much silver and gold you had, if there was no food to eat, you couldn't eat your silver and gold. And I was wondering how many people are accumulating things which we think are valuable today, and we get more and more of them, and we put our trust in them almost, and think, there, I'm set up now. But when push comes to shove, they will disappoint us, and we will end up like the Israelites with stuff which is of no value really. And it was just a challenge to me to step back and think, what is it that we value? Now, clearly, silver and gold, there's nothing wrong with them. And they had jewelry, and the jewelry was fine. But they started trusting in their silver and gold, and they used their silver and gold to make idols, and that took them away from God. And they stopped worshiping the God of the Bible and started worshiping what their hands had made. And we need to make sure that we always have our worship focused on God. And what our hands have made, the wealth we've produced, the life we've created, all those things which are fine in and of themselves. They're always secondary, and we always use them to help us in our worship of God. So be challenged as to stop and step back and look at where our values are. We live in a society where silver and gold and wealth and shares and all those kind of things are seen as what really is important. And if you've got enough of that, you can have fancy cars and big houses and all those things, and people then look at you, oh, but all of that's going to be of no consequence and no use when you head into eternity. God's not going to be interested in how many ensuite bathrooms your house had one day when you stand at his throne, but he is going to ask you about love for him and love for your neighbor. So use silver and gold well to serve God, and put our trust, our focus, our love in him. Be blessed.